I've made no secret on this channel that I'm a keen traveller, and as the days here in Sweden begin to get that bit shorter, darker, and definitely colder right now, I have to admit that my annual escapism is beginning to set in, and I'm feeling like I want to get away and explore somewhere new. I'm sure you know how it is, I'm just craving that last piece of warmth before I tuck myself into my winter coat and put on my ski gloves. I had this crazy idea. What if I let my Instagram followers decide where I was going and what I was going to do when I get there? I'd be lying if I didn't say that I'm more than a little bit nervous right now. I've never done anything like this before, but when I slapped up the question onto my Instagram to ask if you guys thought I should do this video, the answer was overwhelming. Over 90% of you said I needed to make this video. And that, my friends, is how we ended up here. It's Tuesday the 12th of October as I'm sat here filming this for you now, and this Saturday I'm going to be travelling out of the country, leaving Sweden for a few days, but right now I have no idea where I'm going. That's all in your hands. So that's when I turned my attention to good old Ryanair, who of course had a sale on. I checked which routes they had travelling this weekend and I picked two that I hadn't been to before for you guys to choose between. And like that, the choice was simple. We were going to Nice or we were going to Zadar in Croatia. So a couple of hours ago I put the question out to my Instagram followers and I've got no idea what you guys picked. This is the first time that I'm going to be checking my Instagram story to find out where I'm going to be spending my weekend. Okay, so the decision has been made. We are spending the weekend in Croatia. Over 70% of you have decided, the people have spoken, it's time for me to book my tickets, I guess. Okay, you guys, the decision has been made, the confirmation has come through. I never make decisions this last minute. I'm super excited to go and explore it. And I'm so excited that you guys are going to be coming with me for the whole journey because I'll be asking on Instagram all of the things I should be doing. So you'll be getting choices all the way throughout the trip where you guys get to decide for me, should I be going to one place or the other place? You're literally picking my vacation for me. Okay, I guess with that book, it's time to get packed. Okay guys, here goes nothing, starting this adventure. Still can't believe that we're actually doing this. I'm on my way to meet my friend. It's an early start here in Sweden, but it's going to be totally worth it and we're going to have such a fun weekend. So I'm glad you guys are coming along for the journey. Just 2.5 short hours later, we were landing in Zadar, which is also Croatia's 5th largest city, with a population of approximately 75,000 people and a walled city with over 3,000 years of history. And we couldn't wait to get out and about to enjoy everything this coast had to offer. Okay guys, so we just arrived at the Airbnb, looking nice. It's going to be home for the next few days. And it's Saturday afternoon, we got here just after lunch. And now it's time to find out what we're actually going to do today, all chosen by you guys. So I put up a question on my Instagram story just before we took off in Stockholm, and the question was, how should we spend our first afternoon here in Zadar? Should we be doing a historic walking tour so we can get our bearings here in the city, or should we be hitting the islands because there's a really nice national park, so we've heard. Time to find out which one you guys chose. So yeah, so that's going to be fun. So it's time to find out when the ferries go and go grab some lunch, I guess, because soon we're going to be hitting some islands, which I have to admit I'm super excited for. And first up was the island of Dugi-Uktuk, its name literally meaning Long Island, and understandably so, since at 45 kilometers long, it's the largest island in this part of Dalmatia. But we were making this trip to visit Teleskika Nature Park with its stunning views, cliff tops and coves. After arriving in the town of Sali, we hired mountain bikes to cover as much distance as possible and really make the most of our afternoon exploring everything the park had to offer, including Lake Mir, a saltwater lake connected to the sea by a network of underground channels. The views were stunning and the colours of the water were just totally unbelievable. Okay you guys, so here we are in Croatia. It's afternoon 1, we arrived at lunchtime, and you guys decided that we were coming out to the islands off of the coast of Zadar. So here we are out on this island archipelago. We're exploring this national park at the minute, and we've heard there's like a salt lake somewhere and some super cool views. So we've hired some mountain bikes, time to go and check it out. You guys are coming too. Our visit wouldn't have been complete without a climb up the highest cliff of Grapaskak. In the summer you'll find these bays filled with yachts, whilst in the winter its waters are occupied by another sort of resident. But more on that shortly. You guys, check out that sunset. How pretty is that? Okay, so you guys were right. It was well worth coming out to the islands on our first afternoon here in Zadar. We've come out to this national park, and it's just ridiculously pretty. Like everywhere you look, there's rocks, and apparently even there's dolphins that come here in the winter as well. This is where like the dolphin pods that are usually out at sea spend the winter season, just chilling, getting ready for the summer and the heat to come back again. I can relate to that feeling. Yeah, so good shout. Let's see where we're going next in this adventure. Okay, good morning you guys. It's Sunday here in Zadar, and we're up bright and early. It's about 8:15, just having a morning coffee. But we had to get up early to find out what it is that we're going to be doing today, because I put out a question last night on my Instagram feed and asked you guys, should we be going to the waterfalls today or the lakes? And basically both of those are two big national parks here in Croatia that we'd heard about and thought sounded fun. So we thought we'd hit one of them, but needed your help to decide which one. It's a very clear-cut winner here. We've got 76% for the waterfalls. I guess that means we're going waterfall hunting. So we booked our bus and an hour later began our journey, headed to CROATIA National Park, a vast, primarily unaltered area, world famous for its 7 waterfalls, which drop a total altitude of 242 metres. To get to the park, we had to take a short boat ride from the nearby town of Skradin, which is well worth it for the stunning views of the hilltops rising out of the water on either side. We left our boat at Skradinski Buk Falls, one of Croatia's most famous sites, and it was easy to see why, because the waterfall and its surrounding estuaries were like something out of a movie. And after checking out the falls, we headed deeper into the park by boat, along a selection of the 72-kilometre long Krka River to visit the Catholic monastery of Visevac. The whole park was fantastic and a day very well spent, but we were particularly taken by the 4-kilometre hike from Skradinski Buk back to our starting position in the town of Skradin, which offered some breathtaking views. And just enough time for a quick adventure around Skradin before our bus back to Zadar. Okay guys, so we've just finished our first working day here in Croatia. It feels very weird to be working when you really want to be out and exploring, but it's what you got to do. But I've just asked you guys the question for today over my Instagram story, and now we're going to wait a while to find out whether you guys want us to hit the beach today or whether we're going to be exploring the old town here in Zadar. So both of them sound like awesome options to me, so I'm excited to see what you guys decide. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to head out for a run, make the most of the weather, and see what you guys pick for us. Okay guys, so we've just been on a run while we waited for you to let us know how we were going to be spending Monday evening here in Zadar, and you guys voted that we should be heading to the old town to explore the historic quarter, and we're going to do that straight away. Zadar is certainly a city with lots of history. In fact, in the 15th century it was even sold to Venice, which explains why there's still a heavy Italian influence in the city even today. And over the years, Zadar has belonged to the Hungarians, Austrians and the French before eventually becoming a part of Yugoslavia. But these days, it's Zadar's natural beauty and exquisite sunsets that the tourists flock for. And as it would happen, they're in famous company, because in May 1964, Alfred Hitchcock found himself in Zadar, writing afterwards that the sunset in the seaside city was the most beautiful in the world. And these days, there's even an art installation called Monument to the Sun, which marks the occasion every evening, with tourists flocking from around the world to experience it for themselves, and the fabulous light show that follows as darkness falls across this magical city. No trip to Zadar is complete without witnessing the magic for yourself. Our week spent in Zadar flew by, and this video would need to be twice as long to include all the fantastic places we saw and discovered, like this beautiful seaside town of Šibenik at the mouth of the Krka River, which those of you Game of Thrones fans out there might find quite familiar, because you might well recognise this spot from season 5. If you know, leave it in the comments below. And whilst I'm sorry to say I've not seen Game of Thrones, that didn't stop me enjoying the picturesque sunset out by St. Nicholas Fortress. You guys certainly picked well by sending us on this journey to Croatia, and I really hope you've enjoyed watching our adventures. If you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to do so you're ready for new content every single week. And other than that, all that's left to say is thanks for watching, drop me a like if you haven't liked already, and I'll see you guys again in a video very soon.